What's going on? Thank you for joining me. Today I have a hoodie on because last video I filmed was getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, and it was right around this time, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Today's topic is going to be how taking 10,000 steps a day saved my life. Now, that's a pretty bold claim for someone to save your life. You know, someone saves your life, you were in danger of dying. Was I really in danger of dying when I wasn't taking 10,000 steps a day? Probably not. But looking back on it, my quality of life was just so bad to where it is now. It's kind of comparable. So, back in like 2023, I was fat as fuck. I think at a certain point, my highest, I was 185 pounds. Now, to many people, that might not even be that heavy, but I'm only 5'9", and being 185 was pretty fluffy. So I was kind of in denial at the time, telling myself I was bulking. But in reality, my numbers in the gym weren't even impressive. They weren't good. I was injured and it's just fat. I kept justifying it to myself for no reason. And during that time period, 2023, I think my average steps per day was like 3,000 or 4,000. I'm actually gonna pull this up just so I can prove this. Finally, in 2024, I got my act together in like May. So I eventually started getting my step count up in 2024, and you can see the change. Now it's 2025 and I am consistently averaging 10,000. But let me pull this up just so I can show you. Let's see. Steps year. So this is 2025. 9,800. This is 2024. 7,800. Now look at this. 4,362 steps a day on average in 2023. And even before that, when I was like thinner, it was still low. But when it really got bad was when I was really fat. There is a direct correlation between how many steps a day you take and how fat you are. And that's a hill I will die on. So, I remember in 2023 when I was taking around 4,000 steps a day, I saw a popular YouTuber, Instagrammer, fitness guy. He's jacked. Dawson Windham, and he started taking 10,000 steps a day. I think it was like his New Year's resolution or something. And this dude is like 250 lean, 6 something unit, right? There are so many bugs out here right now, and they're creeping me out. They're kind of like coming towards me. So if I start freaking out, that's why. But this dude was taking 10,000 steps a day, and I was looking at this in 2023, and I was just like, how is he doing that? And he had a Q&A on his story on Instagram, and I slid up, and I literally was like, how do I get 10,000 steps a day? And his response to me was, walk. Go for a walk. And I was like, come on, like, I go for a walk. I would go for like a 10-minute walk, and I would think that that's a walk. That's the problem. Like, a 10-minute walk is equivalent to about 1,000 steps. Now, to hit 10,000 steps, you either have to be doing something active throughout the day, whether that be hiking, working. Like some people get it when they have a job where they're like a server or something, where you can easily just get like, there's a creepy bug right there. You can easily just get like 10, 20,000 steps working like a camp counselor job. One of my clients is a camp counselor, and he gets 20,000 steps a day doing that. And this dude got 3,000 steps before he went to this job. So the job you work can determine how many steps you get. That's another thing. I'm a personal trainer. Now, it's not the best job to get steps, but I get a good amount. On the days I don't work, I definitely notice my count is lower, and I have to compensate at the end of the day and get more steps. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to how bad do you want it. It's really not that impossible to get 10,000 steps. If I was saying 20,000, alright, that's pretty difficult. Your joints might hurt. But 10,000, everything is just positive. If you're complaining that like your knees hurt and stuff at 10,000 steps, you either had been taking 1,000 or 2,000 steps a day and then suddenly jumped up your volume to 10,000. Maybe then you would notice a bodily difference in terms of pain. But most people can handle 10,000 steps a day. You're just too lazy to accomplish that. But behavior change is not easy. There was a big catalyst moment for me that made me start taking that 10,000 steps. For me, it was ending my relationship with my ex, and I wanted to improve. I wanted to win every day, and that was something I could do to win every day. And now it's just become a habit. But for someone else, it could be a heart attack. It could be news from your doctor that if you don't turn things around, something bad's gonna happen. There has to be some sort of motivation for somebody to do a behavior change. I have been trying to get my mom to take 10,000 steps, or not even 10,000, just 5,000. Consistent 4,000. I think she averages like 2,000 to 3,000 a day. And I'm trying to get her to go up. I've tried everything in the book. And for some people, they just lack that internal motivation to go do it. I could sit there and be her biggest fan and tell her all the reasons why it's good for her health and how happy I'm going to be if she does it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if she doesn't want to do it. Or doesn't have that drive to do it when she doesn't want to. That's another thing. For something like this, you have to be able to do it when you don't want to. There are so many days that I notice it's like 9, 10 p.m. and I look at my phone, I'm at like 6,000 steps, which for some people they'll just say that's fine. It's not fine. So you know what I do? I'm in not a nice area. I am in Bridgeport. There's violence, there's crime, there's drugs. It's not a great area, I'm not gonna lie. But I put my clothes, not my clothes, put a hoodie on. When it was cold, I would wear a ski mask, and I would go for a walk at 9, 10 p.m. Sometimes as late as 11 p.m. I would go and I would walk for like 30 minutes to get my step count in, to hit 10,000. To some people that might sound crazy. Maybe I sound crazy. But when I got done and I look at my phone, I see 10,000, I won that day. And you know what? Even in this bad area, nothing happened to me. I know a lot of women out there aren't going to want to hear, oh, go walk at night. Okay, then don't walk at night. Go walk in the morning. Get up extra early and do it. I personally think you'll be fine walking at night. I'm also not a girl, so I don't know. But I haven't had any close calls in a bad area, so use that to your own judgment. But yeah, I mean, there's always a way to get it. You can make it easier for yourself and park further. You can park further in certain spots. That's a good way to get steps. You can walk throughout the day. You can you could get a certain job that allows you that ability to walk, or you could just, on days where you know you're not going to be moving around a lot, just take that long walk, go for a hike, do something active for the day, and you get it. It's not impossible. Now, that's all cool, but why would you want to do it? Well, for me, I didn't want to be fat, and I'm pretty sure 10,000 steps walking around equals about 500 calories, roughly. Okay, don't come at me and say that's facts, but roughly that's kind of pretty accurate. So, if you bump your step count up to 10,000, that equates to about 500 calories. 7 days a week, that's 3,500 calories. And that's equivalent to 1 pound of fat. So if you had, well, I guess been bed-born, or let's say you're someone who takes 1,000 steps, or 2,000, 3,000, suddenly you go up to 10,000. Now you're burning around 3,000 extra calories you didn't previously burn throughout the week, which is equivalent to like 0.5 to 0.8 to 1 pound of fat. It's a pretty good number to hit in terms of weight loss. That's pretty sustainable. It's not super hard, but you're not going to get out of breath going for it. It's a manageable entry point for increasing activity. Now, if you're like an advanced lifter or bodybuilder and you're trying to diet, I think it's also important to monitor your step count and try to be consistent every day about what number you hit, because that can impact how many calories you eat throughout the day. Right? If you're trying to be in a deficit, but you're taking 3,000 steps one day and then 10,000 steps another day, your maintenance is going to be different on those days. So you might as well just pick a healthy number like 10,000, consistently hit that, and that's one variable you don't have to think about of why you're gaining or losing weight. It's not the steps, because the steps are constant. It's the food. So then you know to manipulate your food. If you weren't tracking, when your step counts are fluctuating, you're never going to know, am I eating too much food? Am I not? Am I moving enough? Like, it's like an impossible ask. Don't even bother tracking your food at that point if you're not looking at your step count. But yeah, I literally didn't change anything in my life besides walking more, and I went from 185 fat to 165 lean. I was leaner than I am right now before, okay? But that's it. Like, it allows 10,000 steps allows me to maintain my physique so much easier. I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's just a non-negotiable for me at this point. I don't want to go back to being fat, so I walk. I mean, it's also good for your joints. That's another reason I walk. It's a low impact stimulus to your joints every time. Another reason, you go to the gym, you injure a muscle, walking is like the best thing for that recovery. So I said this in my last video, you could probably just go for a walk instead of go to physical therapy for 90% of your injuries, and I think it'd probably be pretty equivalent, if not better, than some places, that's for sure, especially like a mill. But what do I know, right? I'm not a physical therapist yet. I'm just a dude talking to a camera who takes 10,000 steps every day. So I'll leave you with this. If you're looking for something that'll improve your quality of life, improve your physique, improve your pain levels, increasing your step count, it's probably the number one thing I would do. There's other things like diet and sleep, but this is something you could just do a lot easier. Doesn't take a whole lot of time, just a little bit of effort. I would do that. I would walk. 10,000 is kind of like the number I would aim for. And I gave you a couple reasons on how to do it. But I think the biggest one for how to accomplish that is just to find your why. And to, on those days that you don't feel like doing it, go back to your why. For me, all I gotta do is look at a picture of myself in 2023, and I'm walking. So, hope that can motivate you to go take at least a couple more thousand steps, if not get up to 10,000. Don't be lazy. I know you can do it, and your body will thank you. I'm out.